It's another day, eyes on my display. You say we need a change, and I feel that you mean it. You mean it. But you're so right, we're losing track of time, buying things online, and it's not like we need them. We don't need them. So can we just slow down? The only thing I'll do is lay here next to you. We need to slow down. Embrace the love we found. For you and I are safe and sound. We were on the run, rocking around the clock. Now all we need is right here in front of us. In front of us. So can we just slow down? The only thing I'll do is lay here next to you. We need to slow down. Embrace the love we found. For you and I are safe and sound. Can we just slow down? And we just slow waste another day. I don't know how to say. You say we need a change, and feel that you mean it. But you're so right, we're losing track of time, buying things online, it's not like we need them. Safe and sound.
Okay guys, today I have decided to go ahead and try this Amish white bread. I got this recipe from, well, Large Family Love, Tiffany from there. She is the one who was taught, she cooks it, she makes it, she bakes it. Okay, anyway, that's where I heard about the recipe. That's what I'm trying to say. But it came from, I don't know what this website is. I'll link it below, either way. So I'm not going to give you the exact recipe because it's not mine, but it's supposed to be very close to store-bought bread, the texture of that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this together, and of course I'm going to do it the hard way, and I'm not going to do it in a stand mixer. I'm going to do it by hand, which is probably crazy. But the first thing I need to do is put my water, sugar, and yeast in here and let it sit for a few minutes, which normally I don't do that. I don't normally let it sit for the period of time it says because I always know my yeast is good. But for the sake of this recipe, I'm going to do it. also normally don't use sugar in my recipes for bread. I always, or I'll just say 90% of the time, I will replace whatever amount of sugar with honey. But I'm not going to do that this time because I want to do it exactly as the recipe says. Because I don't want to, you know, this is a new recipe to me. So I want it to be the way it says. I'm also using my glass bowl because that's just what's comfortable for me. But let's see, it says stir together these things and then let it sit for 10 minutes until the bubbles form. And if you don't know, now if this is wrong, I got it from a master chef or baker on TV. So if it's wrong, it's not my fault. But sugar feeds yeast, which I know that. Salt kills yeast. That's what I understand. Look, it's already started to bubble. Anyway, I'm just going to let this sit here and do its thing for 10 minutes, and I'll be back. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes, and I covered it because we have those no-see-um monsters in here, and see, it's all bubbly. It's all bubbly, like we want it to be. I knew it would be because, like I said, I make sure my yeast is good. Should have already put it away, but I didn't. I keep it in the refrigerator in that little jar. That's what I am currently using, and all the rest that I have is in the freezer because it lasts longer that way. Alright, so now let's go on to the next part. Pretend that we have put this in the stand, on a stand mixer, and it's fitted with a dough hook. I am the stand mixer, and this is my dough hook. I'm just not. I mean, I could get the stand mixer out, but I don't wanna. I'm being lazy, but not lazy. So now I'm gonna add the flour. And one thing about breads, baking, period, any kind of baking, is you need to make sure that you scoop your flour level. You need to make sure that it's, you know, not heaping and not empty either. And I'm sorry the washing machine's going. Y'all know, you just saw me put Noah's clothes in there. How many was that? Was that 3 or 4? I don't know. It was 4. It had to be. Alright. I shouldn't count, like, I shouldn't talk while I'm doing this, I guess. And I've got to refill this flour container. Cause see, not much left. Okay. There's the flour. And the salt. I don't want it to put too much because this is a new recipe to me. New to me. I've never done it before, so I want to make sure I do it correctly. I don't want to mess up. I didn't need this over here anymore. Give me all that flour, please. Okay, so flour, salt, and oil. It says to use canola oil, but if you guys have been around me for very long, you know I don't like canola oil or vegetable oil. I mean, if you want to use it, use it. I'm not saying I don't have any in my house because I think I do have some canola oil in my house, but I would prefer to use the olive oil or what is it called? Avocado oil or something like that. So there is one of those no-see-um bugs in here, or I'm just losing my mind. I don't know which one it is, but something's happening. Alright, where was I at? It says to put the flour, salt, and oil in there. But when do you put the butter in there? This is not a tablespoon. This is not a tablespoon either. This is a half tablespoon. But, let me see. When do you put the butter in? Ah, you put the butter later. So I'm going to cover that up. Alright, I'm gonna move all this stuff out of the way so I can get this stirred because I just need space. Okay, so now I gave myself some space, and I'm supposed to turn the mixer on to medium and allow to knead until dough is no longer sticking to the sides of the bowl, which is about 10 minutes. So, I'm just gonna stir it. I have thought about buying one of those, I wanna say it's a dough mixer. It's got like, kind of looks like a whisk, but it has like a wire thing here. I thought about getting one of those, but I haven't done it. I've seen them on Amazon. In fact, I think it's on my wish list. But I don't know how good they are, and I don't know anyone who actually owns one. So, I don't want to invest in something like that if I don't really need it. And a lot of times, no, all the time. Well, no, not all the time. Let's just say the majority of the time, I'm into the multi-use products. I don't want something if it's only one use. Like Alton Brown or whatever you want to say his name is, on the Food Network used to say, everything in your kitchen needs to be multi-purpose. So, that's the way I like it to be. Now, if I had an enormous kitchen, I'd probably still be the same way, because if I had an enormous kitchen, I wouldn't be able to find the things. But anyway, I'm going to knead this bread. Let's see. You don't need to over knead your bread because it will make it not, like the texture won't be correct. But you don't have to have a mixer for this. You just don't. I don't think that it's going to make any difference with me doing it with my hands and doing it with a mixer. So it said till it's pulling away from the sides, which is about 10 minutes. So I am going to go ahead and knead this just a little more, even though honestly I feel like I don't need to. I don't need to knead anymore. But I'm going to do a little bit more just to make sure. I'm just going to turn it in my hands like this. I've done this lots of times with lots of breads, with rolls and things, and it turned out just fine. And I have the little tools, I have all the wonderful things, but I don't see that you have to use them all the time. And usually whenever I break out the big guns, as they say, it's when I'm needing something that is, when I'm doing a big project or something. Alright, so now it says to roll into a tight ball and transfer into a greased bowl and cover loosely with plastic wrap, which I'm not going to use plastic wrap, I'm going to use my cloth. I'm not going to put grease in this. I'm going to leave it as is. Hopefully that won't change anything. I have said a bunch of times that I don't change recipes the first time I'm using them. Sometimes I do. I make an executive decision. Alright, so I'm going to wash my hands up and let this sit here for 60 to 90 minutes or until it's doubled in size. Then I'll be back. Okay, so this has risen for 90 minutes and it has doubled in size, and it says to deflate it and then to shape it into a log and put it into a 9x5 loaf pan. Now, it did not say, see, this is why I don't think you have to oil the bowl, well, a glass bowl anyway, because see, all that came up easy. I'm gonna move that out of the way. But anyways, it didn't say to knead it anymore or anything like that. It just said to shape it into a log and put it into the pan. And it did not say to grease the pan. But I still put a little bit of my Baker's Joy on there anyway, just because I want to make sure And now it's in the log, it's in the pan. I'm gonna put it back to sleep for 50 to 60 minutes, and about 20 minutes before time, I'm gonna come over here and preheat the oven to 350. So this is done for now. So even though I'm not cooking dinner tonight, I am gonna show you guys how that I'm going to put that lasagna away. Noah will be home, oh, there's a timer on, in about an hour, and he's just gonna heat up his own lasagna and eat that, and then after he leaves I'll probably put it away. But I have these glass bowls. They're different sizes. I have 3 different sizes. They are refrigerator proof, freezer proof, microwave proof, but I'm thinking they may be oven proof too. I don't remember, so I'm gonna look it up. I bought them on Amazon. I'm gonna look it up and find out, and I'll link those bowls below because I don't use them often, but they are an awesome thing to put leftovers in, stick in the freezer, and or do something like I'm doing today, making freezer meal, put it in the freezer and let it go. Also, after cooking that lasagna and everything yesterday and letting it sit there the way I did, normally I wouldn't see it cooked and cooled that way. It kind of didn't look as good. But Noah had a midnight snack of it last night. He asked if he could have some. I'm like, of course. But anyway, he had some and he said it was very good. So anyway, I'm gonna let the bread rise, and then I'm going, because it's got, oh well, almost a full hour left. Let it rise, put it in the oven, and show you what it looks like after it's done. This is a super easy bread. I also wanted to say, do not let yeast breads intimidate you. I used to be so scared of cooking them. I was like, no, I can't do it, I can't do it. Because I didn't even know what yeast was years ago. Mama never used it. I don't think she's ever used it in her life. So it wasn't something I was familiar with. And there's a lot of things I wasn't familiar with because Mama didn't cook a lot of things. But anyway, don't let it intimidate you. It's not as hard as what you would think, but it is time consuming in some ways. It's got a lot of rest time, a lot of sleep time is what I say. But anyways, I just put Noah's clothes from the washer to the dryer. They're drying. I'll fold them after a while. Here's the shower curtain. It is dry and I folded it. I have to put it in our bathroom because that's where it goes. I'm not doing that right now because Jeff's asleep. Thankfully, this is his last night on this shift for a while. And I put the drying rack up that was over there. So I think that's all that I have to say right this moment. Another thing though, that I don't think I've said anything about it. You guys know that I was sharing how that we redid our kitchen on my Instagram, and I talked a little bit about it on here. I don't think I ever linked the lights that we put over here, but if you look, they keep falling. It's like the sticky is not good. Now, I'll get Jeff to restick that. These that are over here are a different brand. They've never come down at all. We have some at my desk that have been there for, I don't know how long I've had the desk, but as long as we've had the desk, and they are the same brand as the ones over there in the kitchen, but they're not coming down. There's some in Selena's room. They've never come down. I don't know what's up with this roll. Now this roll that we did get that's over here, they did seem different than the ones that are over there. So I'm wondering if that seller, like, okay, the ones at my desk and these over here I got from the same seller on Amazon, but they may not be the same ones. They may not be the same brand. And I can't tell because I don't have the box for either. But I will not be linking these for you guys. And if I do have them linked in my Amazon store, don't buy them. And I don't think it's because of them being in the kitchen, because They were supposed to be safe for kitchen and around wet things and around heat. I don't think that's got anything to do with it. They were described as something you could put in your kitchen. But anyway, I'm gonna go for now. I just want to let you know, be careful whenever you buy these LED lights. They're fabulous. They light up things. They make things a lot easier to see. They are cheaper to use, but they're all not created equally. They're not all created equally. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'll be back later. I have the lasagna that I cooked yesterday. That's how much Noah ate last night. And I'm gonna go ahead and fix him some from work fix him some for whenever he gets home from work, because he's just gonna eat. Jeff's gonna sleep a little bit longer. Noah's actually coming home a little bit before he normally does, just because he is. So I'm gonna heat this up for him. It's a lot. That's like, I'd eat a third of that. Anyway, I'm gonna put this in the microwave for him because that's what he wants me to do. Okay, so like I said, we're having this for supper tonight too, but I'm gonna, Jeff and myself will eat later, so I'll save us some back is what I'm trying to say. But right now, I'm gonna make Jeff a work bowl, and these right here are those Rubbermaid Brilliance ones. Do not recommend these at all. I hate them. They're horrible. I've had a lot of them break. And it took forever to ever get in contact with them because they're supposed to have a warranty, but they don't stand behind it like they should, and you have to fight, and it's just not worth it. They are not very good with microwaving like they're supposed to be and stuff like that. So yeah, do not recommend them myself. So I'm gonna fix Jeff some of this for work. Not trying to be ranty about the bowl situation. That's about how much he would eat. Maybe too much, I don't know. But I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator for him. But yeah, I'm not trying to be ranty about the bowls. I just don't love them. Okay, so I'm gonna put some of this in each one of these. I think what I'm gonna do with this little bit is put it in a smaller bowl. I have different size bowls here. I don't know why I put it in the middle one, but whatever. I did. Let me just get all my bowls over here. Some of them are still a little bit wet, but I don't mind that. All right, I'll put that in that one. It is much easier to do this once that it has been refrigerated and it's cold. It's much easier to process, if that's the right word, to put it away, to make it freezer meals. I think that'll fit in that one. Those will be really little. I think I hear Noah home. It's time for me to preheat my oven for my bread. See, you can multitask if you wanna. Alright, put this one in here. And I'm gonna put this. Ooh, I'm gonna cut it in half. and put it in these last two. Which actually these last two are rather small, but it'll be fine. I can put a little bit more in there and still have plenty for me and Jeff to have for supper tonight. At least I think I can. Let's see. Yeah. There, that's better. Okay, so those will be ready for the freezer. This one is a little bit over full, or it's thicker. So I'm gonna get these two, or this. I'm gonna actually give him a little bit more than me, because that's the way we would eat it. I don't eat as much as him. I don't eat as much as anybody in my house. I just look like I do. I look like I eat more than everybody. But it doesn't look too appealing right now. I think that got a little overdone on that one side. Anyway, I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to get my lids on these. They have these silicone seals on them, and they snap closed, so they're airtight. And they're freezer safe. I still don't know if they're oven safe because I didn't look it up. They stack very easily, which I'm not going to stack all of them. But see, they stack very easily. Whoop, that one slides. It's fine. I didn't break it, I promise. And if somebody wants some, like, say one night we want lasagna, but I don't want to cook it, or I don't have the noodles, or we don't have a lot of time. Well, can I? Okay, this one, the top says dishwasher safe, microwave, and oven safe without the lid. Now these have a little air thing, a vent thing on them. There, that's better. But these don't say anything on them, on the lids. And I want to say that these two sizes came together, but I can't remember. It's been so long since I purchased them that I don't remember. Alright. For some reason, they're hard to close, but in a way I think that might be good. So what I was going to say is, we could take this out and it'd be dinner for the three of us. And if I wanted to have lunch, I could grab one of these small ones for me or something. You know, we could work it out. But I'm going to take this and put it in a smaller bowl and stick in the refrigerator, and then I'm going to put the pan in the dishwasher. Well, I'm going to let it soak and then put it in the dishwasher. But this will be in the bowl for mine and Jeff's supper after a while. But yeah, these pans definitely need a little soaking. And I guess that wasn't Noah that I heard. I guess it was just a car going down the street. That happens. Okay, so I'll be back whenever it's time to put the bread in the oven. Okay, so the oven is preheated. The bread has risen very nicely. Oh, I gotta turn that timer off. And now I'm gonna cook it or bake it for 25 to 30 minutes until this is golden brown. So I'm going to set the timer for 25 minutes because that's the lowest time. That's what I always do, is set it for the lowest time. And I will come back whenever it's done, and then I have to, well, I've got to melt the butter again, but then I have to put the butter on the top of the bread. And after I have it, the butter on it, I'm cooling it in the pan for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to remove it and put it on a cooling rack to cool completely. So I'll show you all that, but I'll be back. And I don't know what I'm saying. I'll show you all that whenever it's time to do those parts. So the timer just went off for 25 minutes. And I'm gonna check it out. I also stuck this in the oven to let it melt. Because why not use the heat? Oh, that looks good. Alright, so yeah, that's done. Turn that off. I'm gonna keep one of these because I'm gonna have to touch that bowl right there, and that bowl is a little warm. Alright. So what I'm gonna do is take this butter and brush it on like it said. This is not the best brush. This is one of those that came with one of the sets for the air fryer, and quite honestly, it probably needs to go in the trash. I don't love it. And I don't know if this might not be too much butter. It's 2 tablespoons. Because like I said, I was trying to do everything like it said, because I always do that with the first time I ever make anything. Now, with any baking recipes, I'm gonna always follow the instructions like with the main things. But with something like a bread, I could turn this into rolls if we like it that way, like maybe into hamburger buns or something. I don't know yet, because I haven't gotten that far. And I just feel like this is going to be way too much butter. But anyways, you could turn it into rolls. You could put cinnamon in it and like turn it into like a cinnamon bread or cinnamon raisin bread, things like that. But I mean, it's soaking up all that butter, but of course it's bread, it's gonna soak up the butter. So I'm gonna put it all on there because it said so. I wish I could grab things with these. I know that's going to be too hot for me to touch. I don't want to set that in the thing. Now, I don't know why, but I can grab it with my right hand, but I can't with my left, which I'm gonna hold it like this and just pour it over it. Get it done and on there. Ooh, I dropped it on the thing. I got butter all over my stovetop. I just think that's too much butter, but whatever, it's fine. It's on there now, and if we think it's too much, next time I won't put as much. That I don't think would be a problem. So I'm gonna let it cool here for 10 minutes, and then actually I'm gonna move it over here to this because the stove is probably hot. But I'm gonna let it cool for 10 minutes, and then I'll come back and put it on a cooling rack until it's completely cool. So I'm gonna let that go. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes. This is cold enough that I can touch it now, the pan anyway. So I'm gonna flip it out. Oh, it smells so good. And then I'm just gonna let it sit here, and I'm gonna let it cool. But because of, there's actually one around my camera right now, the no-see-ums, the monsters, the things I hate that come in the house because it's life, I'm gonna put one of those tea towels on top of this. So I'm gonna grab a clean one of those. And I'm just gonna put it over it. This is stained, y'all. I promise it's clean. But anyways, the bread can still breathe. It's still got air, but you know, under it and around it. It can still cool because this is like super thin. You can see through it. It just won't let things get in. And if I had cheesecloth, I'd probably use that. I have some somewhere, but I'm not looking for it. But anyway, I'm gonna let this cool, and later I will open it. I will cut it and show you what it looks like on the inside. Okay, I'm gonna cut a piece just to see how it is. I'm gonna try to cut it about the same as what, well, that's not gonna be the same as what regular loaf bread would be. But there's one of those bugs. See, they're everywhere. They smell food and they come after it. This is, I'm gonna cover it up. That's the texture of it. It doesn't feel like regular loaf bread like you'd buy from the store. It tastes good. It's a little bit more dense than regular loaf bread. So I may not have needed it enough, or I may have needed it too much. I don't know. I'll have to find out. But it's definitely good. It's very simple to make. So I would definitely recommend it. Has a little bit of sweetness to it. But it did have a lot of sugar in it. So, there's the Amish white bread. Don't want any of those no-see-ums. I don't know if y'all could see it, but I saw it. They just come in your house. I don't know why. Maybe they come in your house on your fruit. Maybe they come in your house from when you open the door. I don't know. But anyway, there's the bread. Okay, so actually let me sit this down. Let me sit y'all over here. Hi. It might be a little bit crooked. I got you on my other tripod today because it's taller. So the bread, it was good. Jeff liked it. It was a little bit more dense than like the bread you buy from the store, and I noticed that it didn't seem like it rose as much as Tiffany's does from Large Family Love. So I don't know if I needed it enough or what. Maybe I do need to pull out that mixer and try that next time just to see if it makes a difference and let it knead for the 10 minutes. I could do that. It's not a problem. So I'm probably going to do that next time. If it doesn't make any difference, I'm still just going to do it by hand because it was so easy to throw together that way. But the bread was really good. It is really good. We still have plenty. Plus Noah would probably be mad. Not really, but he might be a little upset if we didn't save him any. But no, we've got almost all of it left. The lasagna, I know you guys probably noticed it, it's a little dry. And I think that I know the reason why. When Jeff and I went to Ollie's yesterday, we decided to put the lasagna back into the oven. The oven was off, but it was still a little bit warm. But we decided to put it in the oven to let it cool off, so whenever we get home we could put it away. And because it was still warm, I think it cooked it even more. And I noticed that it didn't look as, I don't know, as good as normal. It didn't look as saucy as normal. So I think that it dried it out some from that. But it still tastes really good. And we are probably just going to, the ones we took, the ones we put in the freezer, ones I put in the freezer, probably just going to add a little bit of sauce to those whenever we take it out to heat it up. It's not a big deal. We can add a little bit of pizza sauce. We usually have that in the refrigerator anyway. That is, if we want it, we can add a little sauce and heat it up that way. You could probably even add a little bit of water. I don't know how that would be, so I don't know. But it's fine. It still worked out just fine. It tastes good, and it's a freezer meal, and a family is fed. That's what matters. So the bread was good. The lasagna is good. Noah's clothes are washed. He loves those new sheets. He said he wants some more. I don't know if Ollie's is going to have some more by the time I get to go back over there. I really wish I could go tomorrow, but we're going to get Marcus. So maybe I can go Sunday. I don't know. We'll see what I'm going to do. I would just be going to get him those sheets, though. And those are made so much better than the other ones I have purchased for him. They're thicker, and I think that's a lot better. They will last longer that way. So they're made out of material like a really good t-shirt. So I did that. I emptied the dishwasher with you guys today, but that's really all I've done that I've shared. Other things I've done today, I have closed out August's budget because today is the 2nd, and I usually do that somewhere between the first 5 days of the month. I close it out. We've already worked on the next month's budget, but I close out the other one just to make sure there's nothing else that maybe Jeff forgot to give me a receipt for August or something like that. So I always do it a little bit after. So I've done that. I've worked on things on the computer and stuff that I don't actually share with you guys. I've, you know, written my scripture and doing my Bible things and stuff like that, but I haven't shared anything else with y'all today. So the video is probably going to be a little bit shorter. But then again, there's been so many times when I thought, oh, I didn't really record much. This is just since I started doing these vlogs. I thought, oh, I didn't record much. There's not going to be much to it. And then there'll be 2 to 3 hours worth of footage for me to go through. I don't know what I'm doing. But either way, I try to make it a little bit less than an hour for y'all. Hello, you can come in. What? He left. He must have forgotten something because he would have normally come on in. He went out to check the animals. Ah, I hear the water. He must be turning the water off. He probably forgot to turn it off. But anyway, that is all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, go ahead and do all the YouTube things. If you didn't, do them anyway. You might like another video I put out some other time. Jeffrey's come back in. And so is Maggie. She snuck in with him. She always does. But do all the YouTube things. Let me know down in the comments how you're doing. And remember, don't take any wooden nickels. And be sweet.